Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Today is January 1st, 2023. And last night I watched the Georgia Bulldogs win a football game very closely, and they're going to be headed to the national championship. That's my favorite college team. But anyway, today I want to talk about putting a line for shore power into my camper van. And I'm going to do a little bit differently than a lot of people do, and a lot of people will order off of Amazon a shore power line that has a little plastic door that you drill a hole through the side of your van, and everyone knows that that's a shore power line when they see that on the side of your van. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and use some things that I already have in my garage. I like to try to save money that way, and I'm going to have this adapter right here, which is a 30 amp adapter. When you go to a campsite that has full hookups, you have to have a special 30 amp adapter to plug into their hookups more often than not. And this is what I'll be using, along with an old extension cord and a regular wall outlet that you might put in your house or your garage. So let's go and take a look at some of the things that I'm going to use today to put shore power into my camper van. My name is Doug. I'm a retired school teacher. I built a camper van out of an old service van. I will take you with me camping, fishing, going to the beach, going to baseball games. I'm going to teach you how to save some money. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Holiday 10. These are the things that I'm going to use today to do this little project in my van, to put shore power into my van. I'm going to use some wire strippers and some wire cutters. I'll use this 120 electrical box. It's an outlet that you would put in your house or your garage or your shed. Some various nuts and bolts I'll use to bolt a flange to the underside of my van. I have this flange right here that I'm going to put the wire through. That's going to be on the underside of my van, and then there's a nipple and there's a cap that's going to go over it. I'm going to use this drill bit right here to drill some holes in the underside of my van. I have a drill, and I have this old extension cord. It was just lying around the garage. The end of it is already cut off right here. The end was bad, and this has been in my garage for a long time, and I've never found a use for it until now. And I'll use some flex tape to help me tape the edges of the hole on the underside of my van. So let me show you what the flange setup is going to look like. Okay, so under my van, I already have a hole in the back of my van back here. There's an access hole, and I don't really know exactly what the service company used that access hole for. There is a wire going through that hole, but on the underside of my van, I'm going to bolt this flange to the underside of my van, and then the extension cord is going to go through this nipple. The nipple is going to screw into the flange like this, and this is what will be mounted to the bottom of my van, the floor of my van. And then I'll have this cap that goes up over it like this to keep any water or corrosion off the end of the extension cord. So this will be under my van. It looks kind of weird, but that's what will be under my van, instead of having one of those factory made or those regular things you would order off of Amazon to get shore power to the side of your van. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. This is the back of my van. In the rear, there's the wire, or the wheel well, and then right here is an access hole. This was already in my van when I bought it. I don't know what the service company used this hole for. There's already wire coming through it. I think this wire has something to do with the backup alarm. This had an alarm on it when you put it in reverse. It used to beep, beep, beep. And I think that's what this wire is for. Not really sure. But this is where my extension cord is going to come through. And under the van is where that flange and nipple is going to be mounted. So let's take a look under the van. So this is under my van. This is the floor of my van, and that's the access hole right there that I just showed you from the top. I'm gonna mount that flange right here, and the end of the extension cord will come through that nipple right here, and that's where my short power line extension cord will go out to any hookups that might be at a campsite that has full hookups. So I put some flex tape around the edges of the metal to kind of act like a grommet so that my electrical cord doesn't rub too much on the metal. I don't want it to wear through the rubber or the plastic to cause a short in my electrical cord. So So my old extension cord comes in through the floor, and I left myself some slack in here so that when I plug into 120 power from outside, I can pull on this, pull some out from the floor to the outside. So I left myself some slack, and then I just ran the wire up the wall with my other wires, and I kind of tucked it right up into here, into this wiring harness, which is towards the roof of my van and by the brake light. And the big yellow one is my cord, and it runs down here, and it runs down the wall there, and it's right here right now. So I plan to mount myself a 110 electrical outlet right here, which I will hook into this cord, and that will allow me to plug in my TV if I'm on shore power. Instead of using my inverter right here, I could unplug my TV here and then just plug it into an outlet right here for 110 power for shore power. Okay, so full disclaimer, I'm not an electrician, and I don't want to take responsibility for anything that you guys might do to cause an electrical fire or shock yourself or something like that. But I will say that I've done a lot of different DIY projects, and anytime I do something with electricity, I go on to YouTube and I watch as many YouTube videos as I can. I've done a lot of projects with my dad. My dad knows all about electricity before he passed, rest in peace. But he helped me wire up a lot of ceiling fans, and I've done things like outlets and light switches, and I've done an outdoor fountain pump for my fountain outside. So when you're dealing with electrical cord, and you can look this up on the internet, and you can go on to YouTube and watch other YouTube videos. But when you look at these wire colors, this white wire will be your neutral, your black wire will be your hot, and your green wire will be your ground. And then when you go to hook it up to your outlet plug, you can go on the internet and look at YouTube videos again. I'm not an electrician, but you look at those videos and everyone tells you that the brass is your hot wire and the silver is your neutral. So my black's going to go on my brass, my white's going to go on my silver, and then my neutral wire is going, my ground wire, that's the green one, I'm going to ground it right here on this, and it's got a ground screw on this outlet. So that's how I'm going to wire it up. Again, I'm not an electrician, so if you want to do a project like this, make sure that you do as much research as possible. So now I'm going to test it out. I'm going to plug in my extension cord, which is plugged into my garage. I'm going to crawl under the van. Okay, so now for the moment of truth. I have this lamp that I use to work in my van when it gets dark out at night. We're gonna plug it in and see what happens. Plugged in, and hey, we have power. It works. So now all I have to do is do some paint touch up here. I made kind of a mess here, and then I'm gonna put on my wall plate, and it should fit over just like this. So I'll do some touch up, and then I'll put the wall plate on, and I'll be done. So finished product doesn't look too bad. The color of the plug and the plate, they don't really match. This is like off-white, and that's regular white like my paint. But it's not that important to me. My whole van is just kind of built out of things that I had as spare parts in my garage, so it's not that big of a deal to me. You can see some screws over here on the side where I had to screw in a block of wood to mount that metal box in there, but it's not really visible and it doesn't really bother me. So the job is done. Well, YouTube, that's about it for this video. Once again, thanks for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And you could hit that bell, and anytime I make a new video, you'll get a notification. Right now it's getting dark. This time of year it always gets dark early, so it got dark early on me. Anyway, the shore power is hooked up, and I hope you liked the video. And just remember that if you do hook up a simple shore power with an extension cord, because that's basically what this is, you're going to need a 30 amp adapter if you go to a full hookup site. If you're not at a full hookup site and you're just pulling up to your in-laws house to sleep in their driveway for the night, you could just use an extension cord. You don't need to have that 30 amp adapter. So the video's done. My next video, I plan to do a product review on this small heater. It's used to defrost your window. I'm gonna try to see if I can use it as a heat source in the van. My van's well insulated, but I'm gonna use some yard thermometers and put this through the test. It's a 12 volt DC auto heater fan, and it's used to defrost the window. My van always stays really warm, and it's well insulated. In fact, I get too warm, but it's been really cold. It's January 1st today, so this is the coldest time of year, along with February. So I'm gonna put that little small heater to the test, and we're gonna see how it works. Also, I've got another stealth camping video coming up in the future. I want to do some more stealth camping videos. I want to try to stealth camp at a casino and see how that works out. And then also I'm going to try to do a little social experiment on whether or not a college student could live in a van and stealth camp while living in their van and going to college. I'm going to take a look and see what that looks like. So those are some videos coming up in the future. Also, I want to eventually put a wind turbine on the roof of my van to get some extra power that way when I'm in a campground at night. And I also have a motion sensor light that I want to put up on the outside of my van. And then another future video, I have a caution light. It's a small strobe like you would see on a utility van. So those are some upcoming videos that I have coming up in the future. The other upcoming videos that I have coming up in the future is kind of like my big announcement. I'm making a big announcement right now that in March, I plan to take my van to Arizona to go to spring training for the Oakland A's spring training baseball games. I'm going to take this van to Mesa, Arizona. At least that's my plan right now. And I'm going to stay out in Mesa, Arizona for about 7 to 10 days and watch as many spring training Oakland A's baseball games as I can. So that's my goal for March. That's my big announcement. So I plan to make videos every day while I'm there watching the baseball games and showing you where I stealth camp in my van while I'm in Mesa, Arizona. At least that's my plan right now. Hopefully between now and March, nothing happens to where I can't do that. But I have to get my van all ready to go between now and March so that I can take it to Arizona and watch Oakland A's baseball spring training games. It's gonna be cool. So once again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And thanks for watching my video.
Portable carrier here. Make sure you got AC on it. It's a little warm in here. You feel comfortable. It's getting warm in this building. We'll see if that's a factor. Got a fan on it there. Well, the players don't have fans. Stamina could be a factor in the second half, but often is in this building. Not impressed by anything he's seen so far.
Happy New Year.
Once again,